Hey, welcome out to this week's Connect blog. We're going to be getting into some pretty wild territory, so I prepared a couple of visual aids that will kind of help us get through it once we get to that point. But setting that up, today I want to explore the question, how do we transform the vision of Connect into reality? If you recall from the first blog video, I imagine this, having Connect platforms in every community that values the arts, and having a different type of Connect for every different type of art. I mean, the vision sounds fine, I'm sure, but how do you do it? Who organizes the volunteers? Who gets the incentive structures for people who make this thing? Who, runs the meetings? What types of meetings do we have to manage these things? How do we standardize a system? How do we innovate within that standardized system? How do we, organize calendars and to-do lists and all those kind of things that you have to have really well nailed down before you, or rather in order to accomplish something at all. So it's, if we can't figure out that, then the Connect vision will always just be a vision. So I've been thinking about that problem on and off in some form or another for the last several years, actually. And kind of what I've come to is a point of view that reframes how I look at the problem of organizing something. And I think the problem is not how do we organize Connect, how do we, manage that vision. The problem, the real problem is, how do we manage our communities? How do we organize stuff at the grassroots level? And this is where I want to go maybe a few notches deeper now than just talking about Connect. And I want to talk about a program that I've been working on for the last couple of years called Go Unite. And that's where we get into all this cool diagram stuff. But Go Unite is envisioned, excuse me, I got a little congestion here, is envisioned as a free, decentralized project management tool that all community organizations can tap into and utilize and organize off of. And so, so let's dive into. So here's how it would kind of work. So this is one mock-up of a number of mock-ups that we've done over the years, but this is kind of like like an app interface. Salt Lake Community Builder. So there are a number of key features here, but let's dive in with the profile. So every community member would have their own profile, and it would keep track of things that they've accomplished. It would be like a resume. It would show their various types of badges, like kind of these things that we've used in the past that show what you've accomplished. It would also have like their community currency, points that they're earning for doing things. As well, all these other features would in some way filter through the profile. Now over here we have the template section. Okay, and so a template is something like this. This is a template that I've made for Connect. But a template lays out all the different roles that need to be fulfilled in order to make a project happen. And each role has a to-do list set up next to it, and you can go into whatever level of detail you want. But yeah, think of the template like the blueprints of a project. Every community program or organization would have some kind of template that they were working off of. And everybody in the community could add new templates and suggest innovations or edits to existing templates. So it would be kind of like this open source sharing information platform. Okay, so moving from there, the templates, if they go live, meaning people are actually going to make the thing happen, then they go over to the live projects section. And so if you were looking for something to do in your community, you would open up the live project tab and you would find, say, like the event capturer, like you wanted to be a photographer at an event. You'd click on that, and then that would go into your profile, into your own to-do list and your calendar. And so when the day came for you to do that, when this was up and going, you would get a notification saying where you have to go, who you have to check in with, and then of course what are the things that you have to do. And then, once you've accomplished that thing, the person who created the template or made it go live will check off that you've done it, will confirm it, and you will get a community point. And that's where we get into the kind of the last main part of this, which is the marketplace. So you take that point that you've earned from doing your task, and you go to a community marketplace where there are all kinds of goods and services that you and everybody else is contributing to the community. I've also thought about this cool kind of, where you can monitor inflation. Like if these are your points, you can see that there are more points on the system than there are things to buy. So you can add new things to the system for people to buy, or you can delete your points and get, further badges or credentials or whatever. But basically the concept is you have a full cycle or ecosystem of what to do, kind of where to do it, or actually being done, and then you have kind of your incentive. And there's so many things that I want to go into with that. That whole Go Unite thing could be its own blog, and it probably will be at some point. But going back up to the level of Connect now, so how do we make the vision of Connect a reality? Well, with something like this, right? You make the vision of Connect, or rather the vision of Connect is one of 1,000 community things that can benefit from a new level of organization. And so if you wanted to run a Connect, you would just make your Connect template, plug it into the template database, make it go live, and then have people show up and get rewards. And so again, back up to the level of Connect. You can't organize it, in my mind, by trying to organize it in isolation. The most efficient, I guess you could, but I think the most efficient way would be to install a community organizing tool that Connect is merely one beneficiary of. Alright, so that is today's video. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I look forward to seeing you next week.